pound for pound best team in North America, going up against a very shocking Cloud9 Blue who seem on fire since Challengers 2 began, absolutely tearing through everyone. The only match they've been dropping since Challengers 2 started and throughout the Challengers finals is indeed against this Sentinel squad, and Haven has been a huge piece of why Cloud9 Blue has been so successful, upsetting several different top 5 teams in the region to find themselves now just one match away from potentially going over to Iceland, but they do come in as the underdog in this matchup. They're running their ever so classic double duelist composition of Poise and Leaf, Leaf being one of the top 3 duelists in performance in Challengers 2 and in the Challengers finals thus far. Absolutely maddening at that, and then everyone else is kind of playing what you'd expect. Floppy, like they said on the desk, been, adopting that Astra. We've been seeing Zeta playing Sova throughout his career, the majority of the time, other than a couple of pre-stints with like a Breach or a Sky, or even when he briefly did some jet hopping in his own right. Then obviously Mitch has been a heavy Sentinel player for bulk of his career. Obviously, over on the Sentinel side of things, ever since Tin stepped onto the team, we've been seeing Shazam kind of sacrifice a bit and allow Tins to have the jet while he takes the Sova. Of course, Shazam was already a Sova main on Bind, but he's expanded that throughout the rest of the map pool to, again, allow Tins to be the Tins that we know and love. And then everybody else is what you'd expect, right? Sick getting to play that Phoenix. Again, the rock of the team, one of the most consistent stars in NA Valorant is Sick, and man, this is going to be fireworks, bro, because both these teams have been so hot on Haven lately. Cloud9 Blue has only dropped Haven 3 times since March out of 20 games played, one of which was the Sentinels, though, of course, in the grand finals of Challengers 2. And then Sentinels, since Tins has been on the team, 81% win rate on Haven, dude. This is going to be a banger.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. We're getting underway as the gates come down and tends to kick things off. The first kill. Whoa. Leaning the way of Sentinels, and now things get a little spooky here for Cloud9 Blue.
Yeah, I mean, the timing that you can create now on that long A position with the Astra allows for heavier engagements through sewers defensively to get picks like that. Tins takes full advantage. Gravel also slowing down the timing on this C take, as we know that Sentinels are kind of have to play for the retake, but Poise finds the greatest time ever to backstab through window and blindside Dapper, but Tins and company holding on, but the response from Cloud9 has been swift as well. But Tins, it's gonna go all the way for the ace. You have to be kidding me. Tins, he starts it and he finishes it. The Alpha and Omega to kick off this series, Tanner.
What a way to get things started. And like you said, Dustin, all started with the awkward timing from that Astra. They're allowed to get sewers control. They find that first kill. They make the full rotation over. And Tens closes it out, and that's gotta be a bittersweet feeling for this player as he stares in the face of Cloud9, his former squad. And it is going to be a full save. We do see that frenzy on Poise, but
oh my goodness.
This is scary. Right off the rip, you can see the hype train is getting started.
Yeah, that is unreal that he's pulled that off. Again, Poise had such a good backstab there through window. Made you think he was going to disrupt that rotation in back halls, but to no avail. Tins locks down the spike despite all the chaos thrown his direction. Now they get the freebie round, right? Didn't see too heavy of an investment here from the Cloud9 side of things, so Sentinels will be able to mop up no problem as we try to, bring the energy back down for a bit, but I imagine we won't stay there for long, Tater. I imagine we're in store for a lot more hype as there's just so much on the line here. This is the biggest match of most of these guys' careers in Valorant. The chance to represent NA in the first international LAN, really one of the first LANs, period, in Valorant history. So a lot goes into this, man. So many mind games, so much pressure, so much stress, and so much excitement. And I just can't wait to keep going, man.
Goes here.
And this is where, like you said, the pressure kind of it starts to build. So just as we kind of do on our end of things, the players now need to take a deep breath and just remember, right? You turn names off and you're just playing Valorant. It's 2 quick rounds the way of Sentinels. Now a rifle round here for Cloud9 Blue, and a couple of rifles to matches. Hens force one up in the last round, and Sick and have a Phantom in hand. And with these rifles, Cloud9 Blue taking it very slow.
Yeah, they want to make sure that they get their cards right in this situation. They want to not...
Huge drone.
Yeah, this drone is big to catch this aggression that Tins and company were trying to set up at sewers, but it doesn't matter. Knowing's only half the battle as Zoms is still standing here on this bonus Spectre. Good for one. Floppy, a big trade to at least keep it even, which will keep the defense a bit spread thin and perhaps allow Cloud9 Blue to pivot and try to find a vulnerability here as they're putting a lot of faith in Dapper to anchor that C side. They have the Astra Orb kind of blocking B entrance because they want to keep this focus on A side of the map, and they would be right to do so because Sentinels aren't letting, or Cloud9 is not letting up.
And not letting up at all, and I think maybe they were expecting Sentinels to do the same, but the fight for the sewers will continue. Now Sick rearing up to get quite a bit of value. Poise gonna peek this corner. The first kill comes on through. Zeta to trade it back, and now it's all up to Dapper, who's been huge in this tournament thus far. He's got a Spectre in hand and 3 players to worry about. Mitch is gonna be the first to contact on this. The kill to come through in the rifle round to Cloud9 Blue. They're on the board, and I guess that kind of shakes the question. Are they nervous? Do they have the nerves? No, they come right into this one stalwart.
Yeah, this is, you know, a great response from Cloud9. They were dealing with the stat. They were dealing with aggression. They lost the opening pick, but then the follow-up was just very decisive. And to get around on the board early after suffering to the 10's ace in the pistol round and having to eco and all that good stuff, it's good to see them have that quick response. And we are going to see the rifles being bought up, though, from Sentinel, so there is only a judge for Sick, and actually still a Spectre for Zoms and 10's, relying on the daggers only pretty much, but I mean, they couldn't be in more capable hands.
Absolutely, especially on this map. We saw it slip away a little bit, and it was looking scary against 100 Thieves, but Sentinels were able to reel it back in and close it out, and then eventually the series, now they're looking to go right to work, down C-Long, a classic in hand. Sick, unfortunately, not able to find too much, but the shock darts are able to finish off Zeta. The knives are still on line, I believe, for 10's, although chipped away, but very favorable trades. You got a kill on the board, and the HP is so low. Poison Leaf are hurting.
Yeah, 10's not getting a frag, but I feel like he and Sick were definitely a part of the assist that led to that shock dart frag, so definitely still having value in the round to really thwart what Cloud9 were hoping to attempt that long C, and now 10's even pushes down the clear closet, knowing that no presence is still there, allows him to kind of pivot more towards, you know, this back hall area and into B-side itself, but unfortunately for them, Leaf has taken control of Garage with a couple of teammates. He's gotten another kill here. That's going to kind of even the numbers now as they're lined to look into the C site. They had that Nebula smoke up, blocking off the back halls, but the Gravwell slows down their progression, allowing them to get in sight to back up Sick. Great move by Zoms.
I'm spotted barely on the back end, but he's still able to find the kills, and the judge is starting to go to work. Sentinels pick up the round.
Huge there. You got to give a lot of credit to Zoms. Again, he's kind of the unsung hero a lot of times of the Sentinel squad. He's very good at clutching. He's got great decision-making, and he was very quick to be able to adopt Astra and use her effectively. That Gravwell at that garage hallway, so pivotal to allow him to make sure that his teammate inside the site wasn't going to be stranded, that he was going to be able to back him up for trades, and trades weren't even required. They just clean house, man. Really quick response from Sentinels, not letting Cloud9 Blue build up any momentum off that first gun round that they got. And now you can see what Cloud9 Blue are left with here. They're going to have to go Sheriff on Floppy, Frenzy on Mitch. So definitely a halfway buy. Sick trying to get aggressive here. Out in middle. Oh, no, he didn't stop the boombot. He thought that his hot hands would take care of the job. He miscalculated. It cost him his life. And in a round that was a mixed buy for Cloud9 Blue, that's a huge advantage to get so early.
Yeah, and forgive me, but I didn't see if the run it back was available before death or on death there. So either way, a huge ultimate to no longer have, a huge player to no longer have for this Sentinel squad is Cloud9 Blue. They're on a labored buy. It's only 3 rifles for this team and a couple of pistols. So this is definitely a Sentinels round to win. And Shazam is looking to swing it right back. The first onto Floppy. Not going to find the next, but a tag surely will do enough. Leaf once more, lower HP. It should be spotted by the drone, tries to push it right to Shazam. The ticks are there, but Shazam finds the shot in the frenzy, just not able to do enough.
I didn't think he'd be able to recover in time. I thought that with the timing of that drone death that he might get caught with his pants down a bit, but able to recover and get the kill anyhow. Leaf, though, huge kill onto Dapper, allowing the spike plant to come through and even numbers back up to a 3-on-3, making this retake much more difficult. And Sentinels, they have no ults in play. They have to rely strictly on gunplay, but Zeta cutting them off at the pass here at this lower rotation point.
Things once more have since slowed down. Shazam lower HP after that earlier duel. Able to find the first. The HP doesn't matter. A 3K for the Sova. Zeta not able to get on the board to match, and it's Leaf. The low HP raise in a 1v2. Both players are low, but he's got to try and kill them both, and he can't do it. Shazam picks up 4, just as Sentinels do as well.
Shazam, such a big factor in that round. Obviously, the 4 kills on the surface kind of already indicate that, but when you look at it more deeply, you comb through all the fine details. Again, getting that drone out in B, getting this off as well, but prior to that to get them back in. And again, this recovery is so big, you think Mitch has to jump on him for sure. The timing would not favor Shazam, but he gets it anyway. Low health, still swings out Poise, and then he jumps down. And really, I think his play there was just to be more bait for Zoms, right? To kind of allow him to really be the trade fragger, but again, just takes care of it by himself. And this is now going to have a run it back in play for Sick. It's going to be an eco here for Cloud9 Blue, so they may not even choose to use it here, but if they need it, they got it. And they are just starting to really set a good pace here to kick off Haven. Again, the pick of Cloud9 Blue, they've been tearing everyone else up on, but Sentinels is a different beast, man. And when you come for that, you best not miss.
We're round 6 here on Haven, and I think most notably, every single round matters here when you're looking back to recent where Sentinels have this incredible lead over 100 Thieves, but then they almost lose it. They were able to close it out, like I said earlier, but the more you give Cloud9 Blue of your Sentinels, the scarier things can be, because we have seen worst case scenario situations. Now it's a quick take towards B. The spike going to be following up, and the Nebula Smoke's going to block out both connectors for now. So at the very least, Floppy will get that spike down, but Zom's going to go to work, going to find the kills. Instead, he'll gladly trade a spike plant for some kills, and Shazam is there to back him up with Floppy. With the Sheriff, this was the round to go the way of Sentinels, but Cloud9 Blue surely look to make it hurt. 2 kills and a spike plant on the round, but Sentinels can pick up 5.
Yeah, with what was invested, all you can really hope for is if you get like some miracles off the Sheriffs, but really the primary job there is to get that spike plant, get that economy, and maybe try to force some rebuys out of your opponent, right? Try to keep their credits somewhat in check, which they have been able to accomplish. So kind of a small victory there for Cloud9 Blue, but unfortunately, close doesn't count anymore. Sentinel's lead is building to just such a high level right now. And here's the thing about their Haven. You know, their attacking side is far superior, right? They're near 64% win rate attacking side on Haven as opposed to 58% on the defense. So with them doing this well on such a large map where rotations can be hard and defenses can sometimes struggle, I mean, they're loving this right now. They're laughing all the way to the bank at this point. So Cloud9 Blue need to make a statement quick, and this is what they're choosing to try to put forward to do it. Cosmic the Father try to get into the C site, but here comes Sick on the ult, and it gets canceled out by the Showstopper. That's still not the best use of that rocket.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Cosmic Divide is sometimes so hard to use as a Hunter. Sherry's gonna be traded back and forth. Zeta gets nothing, but Shazam gets 2. You pushed up to the site, but it was all for naught. Mitch gonna fall out towards mid, and it's only 1 kill traded. Floppy and Zeta need to do something huge to try and pick up another round, and they're gonna find themselves on another labored buy.
Yeah, it's tough because at least you stop Sick's ult from having impact, but that means that Showstopper that you want to be using to clear off angles on the site to control it for yourself is now off the board. So not the cancellation you were kind of hoping for, and then everyone just starts kind of teeing off for the Sentinel side, particularly Shazam's 2 kills. And that kill, though, from Floppy cracks the door back open just a smidge. They're still down a man. They're running out of time. They don't really have that much map control. But maybe, just maybe, there's a chance. But Zeta has to win this fight against Dapper on site. That's really the only way forward.
30 seconds left.
And the dance towards backside. Zeta's going to find the kill. Knows another one there as well. It's going to be Sick, who takes down that recon bolt. Floppy didn't get spotted on the flank, but he's going to get tagged from the side. Needed to be a bit more careful as they look to push behind. Unfortunately, going to get pinched. Now the gravel pulls him right in, and Zeta vulnerable on the site. And Sick to find the kill. Cloud9 Blue almost turn it around, but it's Sentinels continuing their reign.
Again, Zob's the unsung hero. Then he basically saves Sick from getting flanked, and he uses the gravel to set Sick up to end the round. So, I mean, Zom's utility usage and fragging coming where it needs to be. Again, this is just so tough. Look at the Star Wars going on here as Shazam just keeps hitting that default plant zone and gets 2 picks because of it. Glad we were able to capture that in the replay. And it sets Cloud9 Black so much they have to go for another save, man. They are getting absolutely rinsed so far here on Haven. And again, if you come with the king, you can't miss, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, we know Cloud9 Blue's success on Haven has been pivotal in Challengers 2 and throughout this finals bracket to get where they are. But now you're up against the cream of the crop, and they're struggling to put on a similar performance to what they've done in the past against other opposition.
On the eco, a bit slower of a push towards the seaside again, just trying to split it, and Sick picks ones up through the wall. Mitch to fall, and again, this is a round surely to go the way of Sentinels, and the economy flourishing, even if you did a bit of damage for Cloud9 Blue. Things should be a-okay going into the next. Sick just continues to go back to work. Now the spike has been planted, so all is okay on that front. And now, unfortunately, Sick trapped behind. No, he's not. He's not trapped. He's got him right where he wants him for the ace.
Are you serious? Sentinels have 2 aces in 8 rounds played. between two of their players. This puts Sick back onto another run it back already. 10's only one away from daggers. And it's like, finally, you think you're maybe getting something going, but it's just an uphill climb through and through, man. You keep getting forced to save, and you have to keep battling these ults you never really get around where you feel like you can find footing. And C9 will take a tactical pause here, and can you blame them? It's like the coach for the Monstars from Space Jam just screaming timeout in the middle of the game. I know that reference will be lost upon some of our audience, but, you know, some people will get that one. But I feel like that must be the thought process behind Cloud9 Blue right now.
And I mean, that one again, it is an eco round, right? So
Sure.
the two aces have come from the pistol round, and then another anti-eco where Cloud9 Blue find themselves on frenzies. I think a stinger and maybe a couple of sheriffs. But either way, it hurts so much. And you know, the biggest hype behind a round like that for Sentinels is that the kills weren't kind of just spread out all over the place, like you said. It's Sick again on another run it back, who was absolutely huge in the last one. With that run it back, he was able to outplay the Cosmic Divide from Floppy on that C site, and then again, just play it. Once he gets sent back, he just plays it like it's a blaze wall, curveball on the outside, and the rest of the team is there to finish it up. So a huge round for Sentinels to win. Now, off the back end of a tactical pause, Dust, Cloud9 Blue, they got to start turning around right here.
They're starting to come online, man. Again, Leaf has like been one of the top 3 performers on Duelist and one of the top 3 players just in general for the Challengers Finals and throughout Challengers too. He's been such a strong duelist for this team, and they've been missing him in this game. As Sick is going to go for the run it back, and he gets a pick with it before poise. Oh no, and there's no ability to trade that back. Obviously, with it being an ult, that's such a big opening pick for, you know, Sentinels have not had too many buys, Tanner, and to have that happen to you right after a tactical timeout is so grueling. And this A defense is still in place. They're committing to it, man. They're still trying to find something here, and the A side has been so well reinforced by Sentinels. They have such a good read of things.
And if you're Cloud9 Blue, what else do you do? C, the retake on C has been absolutely huge. Oh, Leafton gets spotted. It is going to be a kill still for Shazam. It's traded back, but you're already down a player.
Right.
The Sentinel's still favorable when it comes to the manpower in this one as Sick continues to jump peek towards the back of the site. But as I was saying before, what do you do? If you go plant C, you're just going to get retaken on. We've seen it multiple times this game thus far. You have to fight for something else. And even when they do, it just completely gets stunted.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they need to start doing something with Floppy's Asher utility on that long A corner you have to feel to push off the aggression to allow them some space to breathe. But that's a big entry there. The man we were talking about, Leaf, gets the kill onto Zombs, blast backs in the site. There's splits coming from Mitch, but it's been cut off by Sick. Leaf able to get a third, though, keep it even in this close plant situation. This is maybe Leaf's opportunity to really have impact here.
And his ears were ringing, Dust. He heard you talking about him, saying he was one of the top performing duelists here in this one, able to take down the cam of one. Now needs to find the last. There'd be an ace on the route, but Dapper clutches it out. No ace for you. Sentinels will push to 8.
I guess just the world knew that we couldn't handle another ace this fast in this match, man. But you felt like it was right around the corner. Certainly looked to be on the horizon there for Leaf. He was doing some big things throughout that round to try to really instill his will on the server, but Sentinels just always seem to be a step ahead. Even when they kind of got caught by Leaf's positioning, it was still a kill that came out against his teammate to not allow him to really use that to have substantial impact on the round, right? And even his entry into sewers, his flanker got caught in Mitch. So it's like every time he was setting something up, the follow-through could never be there because Sentinels were always wise to, you know, a potential snake in the grass, I guess you could say, and able to handle it and keep things kind of on equal footing throughout the round. And in the 1v1, just a little short is Leaf, but they're able to still full buy here. But again, that doesn't matter much anymore. They need rounds.
They need something. This time, Sick able to take down the Boombot with the hot hands and make it out of Garage. It's going to be another Cosmic Divide from Floppy. Used to try and get some pressure towards C. And with this, the Spike's still hovering towards A, so they're trying to make some changes. And Leaf, the utility goes right through it. The bullets will not follow as Tense picks up one, pops the knives, looks to clear out the site. The Spike still headed over towards A, but the battle will ensue for this mid-C area. And Zombs is no fool. Zombs knows exactly what's up here, Dust.
Yeah, he's gotten here just in time. Spike's starting to plant. Will he peek in time to disrupt it? No, he's still playing behind this wall. They're right next to each other. And now he steps out and finds Mitch for free, gets him back into a man advantage on this retake.
Stars to go down. Empress gonna be popped as well. Floppy gets on the board. Oh my goodness, Tens tries to go up, but what goes up must come down. We find ourselves in a 1v1. The mirror matchup, the imposter, the Spectre, and Zeta picks up another for Cloud9 Blue.
That was down to the wire throw, man. 11 HP, spraying a Spectre and praying that it would work in time, and it almost fell short, but he does get it done. But I think the star of that round is probably Poise. The kill he catches on Tens when he goes up with this updraft and the daggers was so big, man. Really kind of saved the day because you felt like Sentinel's retake really had a wallop behind it until he pulled that frag off. Finally, another round for Cloud9 Blue, but it can't be on an island again, Tanner. They need to be able to really build up some mass in this half. They can't just keep being isolated to a round here and there. There's only 2 left to go, and again, Sentinel's attacking on this map is so good.
Oh, Tens does it again. How he finds the kill through mid, dashes away, and he just continues to be a terror. He continues to prove why people think he is the best in North America. He stays alive to find some more, and Dapper's right there behind him to back him up. Garage is not free. You have to pay for it with your life. The kill is traded, but Floppy is worse for wear.
Oh, that shot that might land on him. Oh, that was so close to ending his life right there. Was able to duck and dodge away. But, of course, again, the story of this half is most of these rounds, Cloud9 Blue are never really a man ahead for too long, and now it's getting worse as Sick finds Floppy. Spike down in window room. Zeta trying to catch Sick. Does. That's well done. I thought he'd get caught on the curveball. Unfortunately, again, every time something starts to go their way, Sentinels just comes right back at them. And now Zoms will finish it off. It's going to be 9-2 lead now for Sentinels, and man, it's just like Cloud9 Blue can never really get an edge in any of these rounds, and it can never really get a foothold. At best, they're on even numbers all the way through.
In that one, 8-4 is bad, but it feels like you lose less momentum, right? You have a bit more hope when you go into it 8-4. Now, not only did they not pick up that round on rifles to try and net the 8-4 half, but they're back on a labored buy. Everything that they can afford is one rifle.
Here's some big context for you. In the year 2021, which is basically February 11th forward, Cloud9 Blue has had a near 70% attacking win rate on this map, and they're limited right now to 2 rounds.
Looking to make it 3, Hunter Shuri. Nice paint shells to try and keep Dapper away for now, and it's actually going to find the kill. Dapper not respecting the damage as Shazam looks to trade back a Hunter Shuri of his own. Sick. Push through the Nebula, and Leaf just popping grapes. He wasn't allotted an ace earlier. Won't be allotted an ace this time around, but does heaps of damage for his squad and makes 9-3 quite doable. But Zoms is still alive. Zoms is Mr. Multi-Kill in this game, and he's done so much for the squad. As he turns his back to Zeta, he looks to fight towards Mitch. He's able to pick it up, but 81 health is all he's got. He goes Galactic to put the stars down. The gravity well, the push from Zeta. And the round to Cloud9 Blue, 9-3 at the half. And they got to find, if we're going back to Space Jam dust, they got to get that Bugs Bunny water for this defense.
They do need, what was it, the special something? I can't even remember, dude. It was like a blue bottle with a piece of paper taped to it. Yeah, the secret stuff. I think that's what it was, secret stuff. Anyway. Yeah, they need something, bro. They need a miracle. Again, this is a team that has, you know, regularly been able to win around 70% of their attacking rounds, and this one they only got 3. That is just really an uphill climb at that point, because defensively they only win about half their rounds, and you're going up against a team and Sentinels who, again, are around that 60+% range on attacking round success since Tens has been on the team. We already knew it was going to be an uphill climb considering Sentinel's success on Haven, considering the last time they met on Haven head-to-head in the finals of Challengers 2, where Sentinels used that map as part of a 3-0 victory. But now this really feels like a bridge too far the way that the score has already started out.
Looking to play retake our Cloud9 Blue. Sentinel's going to get the spike planted on B for free. The paint shell's not going to do too much, but a blast pack chips away at Tens' HP. Now 85 on the Jet as he looks to trade some back. The Nebula smoke is there. There's the tap, and they're baiting out a handful of this utility. It's still a 5v5. Leap and Poise look to position outside of this B side, and they're all starting to fall, but Dapper will stand to trade a kill back. Now needs to do the rest of the damage. Able to find the dink and through the box, but Mitch will sit him down. 19 HP separated these teams from a pistol round, but it goes to Cloud9.
What a chaotic slugfest that round was. And you have to feel like that's going to be expected. Sentinels is such an aggressive team, and Cloud9 Blue will be forced to match that pace, and they did this round. Mitch coming up big in the 1v1 there. We've talked about how some of the key players for Cloud9 Blue have been off to a slow start. Maybe that's the spark they need. Winning the pistol, which basically is just kind of playing survival mode at that point, right? If you would have lost pistol, Sentinels go to 10. I mean, it's likely that you're going to have to save. They're the ones that get to go on to the, Spectre buy up, and you're right around map point there. So that really is what they needed to do, just to tread water, man. But they are still very close to sinking. They need to make sure this round works, and they're going to have to make sure they get the bonus in the next one. We know how hard bonus rounds can be to convert, but if they've ever needed one, it's next round.
Even in this one, I was about to say, there it is. The Sheriffs do so much work for the squad. Mitch able to trade a kill back, but 10's still alive, and he's still a menace. Sick finally to fall here as the Jet looks to find some work on the C side. Unfortunately, there are no listings as Mitch goes toe-to-toe with the counterpart. It's Dapper to pick it up. Now one away from the neural theft is the Cypher for Sentinels, and one kill away.
Zom's just running, bro.
Cloud9 Blue.
He's got the sneakers on, and he's full sprint into A, and he will get the spike plant. There's no question about that. That's going to get some additional funds to Sentinels, who did not invest in this round, really. Some Sheriffs, yeah, sure, but this is really going to kind of bolster their full buy when they choose to go for it. Now, Zom's chances of actually clutching this, I mean, with no utility, pretty slim. But, again, to get the spike plant and get a couple of guns down is no small feat in itself.
At the very least, these are the credits that you needed if you're Sentinels. And the kills to come on through. Zom.
That's big.
Punishes the Spectres here. Is going to make that bonus a whole lot worse. A couple of players are going to have to rebuy into this next round. And as I was saying, that spike plant, if you bought Sheriffs, that's kind of washed away because you get some extra credits because of it. So Sentinels are going to be looking pretty in this rifle.
Oh, absolutely. It makes, the anti-bonus play even more fierce from them. Full rifles across the board, no problem. Certainly won't have any shortage of abilities. And, I mean, this is tough because look what it's done. Floppy and Zeta don't really want to have to buy here. They're going to go on Ghost only, so it's just with respect. Bonuses are already hard to convert. And to have them set back like this makes it even harder. And as I say that, though, Zeta picks up the Guardian last minute, and Floppy picks up a Spectre as well. So they're going to replenish that, but again, it's keeping their credits so low, Tanner. And if this doesn't work, I mean, Sentinel's going to be so close to map point at that time.
Yeah, if this doesn't go their way because they force in the bonus, the next rifle round, should they buy up in the next, is going to look very similar to what we're seeing here from Cloud9 Blue, and it could quite possibly mean 11 rounds for Sentinels. Although we have just made our way to the first rifle round for Sentinels, they're taking it a whole lot slower. The pace slowed down, and maybe trying to get Cloud9 Blue to play their game now.
I mean, they know how much this round means if they can win it. This is very close to them just shutting down the map. And again, they also know the weight behind this series. So it's understandable that maybe they would be a little bit more cautious. But Leaf playing up close here could be a problem with the Spectre. It seems like Shazam is keen on keeping an eye on it. But now they start to pass by. Leaf trigger discipline here. Might find a really big timings. Lines up the kill onto Dapper. And he's able to escape. The long A attack being slowed down with a gravel as well, so Sentinels can't really follow up quickly. And now we're going to see Sick have to pop that run it back to try to start clearing the site up. Does spot one, spots another, Tense gets it, and they are recovering the round.
Wow, the timing there. I thought the run it back was going to get nothing because Sick completely looks away from Leaf, but Tense pushes up from Sewers, finds that kill up towards A short, and now we find ourselves in a 3v3, but Mitch finally getting value on the flank, buying so much attention, and Tense has to go huge, but he can't do it. Cloud9 Blue convert the bonus.
Mitch's flank was so fast, man. Sentinels had really no idea. Sure, as time starts to pass, you begin to understand that the flank could be a threat, but they just not anticipating it being that rapid. So Mitch, huge part of the puzzle there, but also got to respect this play from Leaf early on to get them, in the hunt, to make sure that they were at least going to be in the race all the way through the round. Was a good recovery for Sentinels to get it back into a 3 versus 3 and get a spike plant, but again, Mitch with such a great flank. Now he has their Neural Theft available. They've been able to win the bonus. They now have Sentinels onto a save, and now Cloud9 Blue are starting to make this a contest, man. Like, if you thought that it was just going to be a Sentinel steamroll, which it did look that way for a while, all of a sudden, everything's come back into question.
And what we said could happen to Cloud9 Blue, the inverse is happening, where Sentinels not only lose that bonus round, but they lose quite possibly the next one, giving Cloud9 Blue 2 free rounds, pushing them to 7 rather than Sentinels to 11. And there it is. That's where it all starts. Mitch up top on the box, able to find one onto Zoms. Now, you do still have to be wary, right? I think everybody familiar. Oh, the leap over the trap wire there, unfortunately, doesn't amount to a whole lot. The blade's going to be used out, though. Dashes in right to his death, and they're starting to get mowed down. Flawless in response for Cloud9.
You could see what Tins was thinking. The cogs were turning. He's thinking, if I can dash past this drone, I get the Sova for free. What he didn't anticipate was that Floppy was there as the Guardian Angel. And it was a bit of a Hail Mary anyway to pull out the daggers. And at the time, it was a 45 when he popped it. And then by the time he had to use it, it was already a 3 versus 5. So, you know, chances were slim to none anyway. But I liked the idea, but just great considerations by Cloud9 Blue to make sure that that was going to be covered. Once they heard the daggers pop, they knew that Tins might look for an aggressive play like that, and they were prepared. So, again, Cloud9 Blue chipping away at the lead. The gap is shrinking rapidly at this point, and Cloud9 Blue have a great chance. Perhaps making the comeback happen. Poison's aggression. A little bit stuffed there at A, thanks to Shazam. Oh, that was great timing there to realize what's going on at Garage. Great grab. Well, Zeta will play off of it for a kill onto Dapper.
Oh, cage trigger.
Ooh, Tens dashing in, able to find that kill on the site. So 1 for 1 we go, but Sentinel's worse for wear. Zom's only on 8 HP, and as soon as that spike looks to get planted, I would imagine we see some utility use. Leap on the back end, toss out the paint shells, trying to clear out this C-long area, and this is where just about everybody is playing. No, Leap is completely left, but they have to be wary of this. Zeta looks to clear out the site with the ultimate. Recon Bolt can get some information. Down it goes! Down the lane and knocks down 2. Make it 3 for Leap. Shazam the 4th. He's able to trade back 2, but now needs to stop the spike from getting diffused. 2 players standing in front of him. He finds one, but not the next. Poise, the last one standing for Cloud9 to find their 8th round.
Really good defensive round there from Cloud9 Blue. Great use of the grab well there from Floppy to set Zeta up to get the intel on Garage. Also, their flank was just so fast to make sure that Sentinels had to be going, see if they had no fallback option. And then Leaf, who had that flank, falls off of it very quickly, rotates the ult around, and then just lines up a double with it. Don't see that too often. So huge. And now if they can win this round, they probably put Sentinels onto yet another save, and that would be a chance to take the lead, Tanner. From being down, I think at one point they were down 1-8. They might actually be able to grab a lead here. Again, up against Sentinel's attacking side, which is historically so strong.
Oh, and we're seeing why, but that is the beauty. Again, it's so much control fought over towards this A lobby area, but you have that buddy system, and it works so well. Unfortunately, Flop doesn't have anybody to back him up there. Now Leaf, who has since postured aggressively, needs to get out of dodge, and he's not able to do so. So Zeta and Mitch, the support players here for Cloud9 Blue, need to come up huge in a 2v4, make it a 1v4. And Mitch, unfortunately, doesn't have the superior positioning. No flank, nobody caught off guard. He's got the Neural Theft available, but this is a very tall task for the Cypher.
Yeah, it's not looking too good here for Mitch. Only thing going for him really is that he has a Neural Theft available if he can get that first kill. But I mean, with the time dwindling, I just don't see a way forward. And this is a big response from Sentinels, whose credits were basically on the verge of being cracked, and the save was right around the corner, and the chance for Cloud9 Blue to take the lead was right there for the taking if that were to occur. But Sentinels not succumbing to the pressure. Coming in, winning a big 10th round, and they do so clean, which is even more important, Tanner, considering their economy. To get away with 4 weapons like this, that is really icing on the cake. And now they have a run it back available. They had the Cosmic Divide. They had the Hunter's Fury. They have so many tools to put forward. Whereas when you look at C9 Blue, the Cosmic Divide not normally as important defensively, except for maybe for some retake situations. Mitch is required to get a kill to really get value out of his Neural Theft. So I mean, Sentinels had a chance to really just drive this thing home, especially considering that Cloud9 Blue's economy is also quite fragile. Really, the teams kind of share that potential problem. So this is such a big potential swing round because of that.
And now I'm interested to see, we've seen a couple of Cosmic Divides used over towards C to split that back site garage area. A tag from Shazam is going to lead to not a tag with the Hunter Shuri, unfortunately going wide. 2 ultimates used and nothing to be found but information as Zeta looks to get a bit of his own. The full rotate coming on through. The spike still hanging out towards A lobby though, so a whole lot. And I believe the Cosmic Divide is coming down, so you have to push through this here. You have to push to the cloud burst, and Zeta does just that. Mitch picks up another sick on the site, trying to do everything that he can as Zeta continues to go to work. But now the odds are even for just a moment. Mitch has a huge round, and Poise closes out another.
Big round from Cloud9 Blue. As you said, Sentinels getting really no value out of either of their ults other than maybe Intel at best. That's a big investment to not wind up with at least some type of pick, some type of entry point. And then they just kept following up, but Cloud9 already had 4 players at A site by the time the commitment was there from Sentinels. They really just ran into a brick wall. It's going to take brute force alone to get out of the situation or to take a step back and maybe try to pivot elsewhere and hope that, you know, you can expose Cloud9's over rotation. But that never happened. They never let up, and it came back to haunt them. Both teams still coming into the full buy, but again, the credits are really running low due to some of these exchanges and how some of these rounds have played out. 10's looking to be the tip of the spear in this round, trying to come in and catch an entry, but Poise at such a great angle will get first blood anyway, and with the dismiss gets away. No potential trade there for Sentinels, and that's a big opening for him.
Sick tagged twice on the round. Fortunately for him, there is no Hunter Shuri available, nobody else to follow up on that. So just some information that they're still looking to play, maybe through this garage or up towards B. The mid area completely on lock. My Sentinels for a moment. Dapper able to upgrade to a Vandal thanks to his fallen teammate. It's a price to pay, but we'll see what he can get done with it. Full armor, full HP, but down a player or Sentinels.
Yeah, they're gonna try to make a play here into garage. Mitch using a nice little one-way cage here to try to spot some feetsies coming through. They actually decide to back off knowing how dangerous playing into that one-way could be. But now they come in right after it's extinguished. Poise gets nailed by that dart. Sick jumping up with it. Almost finishes the job, but not quite. They still make their way to the side, but Mitch lining up a great headshot over the logs onto Sick, keeping them a man ahead. Dapper was able to trade it back to get the spike plant potentially, but they're still going to be a man down in the post plant. They don't have the best positioning. They don't have any ults in play either. Meanwhile, Cosmic Divide stops them from just playing from long.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness. And Leaf going to work from downtown. Floppy to close it out, but that's it right there, Dust. 10-10. We're knotted up in Cloud9. I mean, even surprising us here in their defensive side. Now stunting this Sentinel squad, tying us up. And this is where boys come in right here, right now. Haven has been a problem for a handful of teams in this tournament. Somebody has to close this out.
Again, man, you look at Sentinels, just, you know, a near 80% win rate since Tens has been on board. In fact, it's 81%, 64% win rate on the attack, and they are being limited in such a pivotal moment. Again, I feel like a big part of it is the quick flanks. Think about how often that's factored in. Leafs had 2 quick flanks on long C that have been so disruptive, not allowing Sentinels to settle in the post plant. And then Mitch had that big flank up sewers a few rounds ago where he doubled up to basically put them in charge. And now they tied the game up 10-10. They had Sentinels on a low buy. And I mean, things are looking swimmingly all of a sudden for Cloud9. They were 1-8 down again, Tanner. Can't stress that enough. They made such a crazy comeback, and they're going all the way, it seems. Floppy with the big double.
Oh, when Leaf picks up another one, Dapper again falls to the paint shells, not respecting the damage, didn't have the space to get away, and the showstopper running out, but it's shot off anyways. Shazam chipped away, 39 HP. Cloud9 are looking to find their first lead in the game, and there it is.
Oh my goodness. Cloud9 Blue are doing it all of a sudden. They're doing the unthinkable. Leaf, we talked about how slow of a start he had. He is now 23-19. He is the top fragger on the server by a decent margin. You have Poi starting to make some big plays. His overall frag might not be high, but he's made a couple of big kills that have really helped his team along. And you're just starting to see, generally speaking, Cloud9 Blue rise to the occasion at just the right time. But here's the full buyback from Sentinels. Neural Theft available if they can get a pick. Great Cosmic Divide comes out, though, from Floppy to make it a bit harder for them to fight for that early map control out middle in Garage without having to waste this drone to make sure that no one's getting on those forward angles. Shazam will clear it out now and start to get a little bit of intel towards the front of B, but not a whole lot, man. So they're really stuck at this point. Really having to play a lot slower than maybe they were hoping to.
And it looks like Cloud9 have got Sentinels shaking in their boots. It's another slow approach here. And things have been so wonky, right? It's been a Cypher on top of the box C. It's been an Astra on top of the boxes A. Cloud9 have really shown us a very dynamic defense and the versatility in it as well. And a lot of it catching Zombs off guard. You know, if you hear the Raze on A, if Raze isn't on the box, there's not a whole lot of other people who can get on the box, but then they still manage to find a way.
Well, Sick got to run it back with that orb, so that's going to give them a big weapon to try to make sure that they get control of this A site. Last time, it faltered. They were not able to get a pick. Not getting value at all. And look at this. Cloud9 Blue's already rotated 3 players onto the site, but here comes all the Astra utility pouring out. Dapper able to get onto Leaf. Run it back is still in play here, and the rest of the team will just kind of follow in behind it like a battering ram. Everything going their way. Not a single player has fallen for Sentinels, and they tie this thing right back up 11-11. And I mean, we couldn't have asked for a more exciting way to kick off the day, man. It's come to this. The final rounds of regulation to decide whether or not overtime will come into play.
I don't know what else to say about that round other than just shoot through smoke. Just sometimes send it and shoot through smoke, because that a lot of the time can be the outcome, and it's so demoralizing in a round like that. Fortunately for Cloud9 Blue, they're in a position where they can lose a round. They have the credits for it.
There's hardly any other 1-2 punches more scary than Tens and Sick when they're on form.
Yeah.
And that combined with everyone else just committing, full sending it with the ult, good Astra utility to help cover some angles, good awareness, good spacing and timing. That's what Sentinel's strength is. They have such a high skill ceiling. They have so many players who are willing to just go out there and trade and be fearless. And that type of brawly style can yield big, big results if your opponent's not on form and not prepared. And so here we go. Sentinels looking, they're not going to this B site.
Intense has a rifle, but also popped the Blade Storm here. Might have spotted Floppy, able to toss out the Cloud Burst there. Hunter's Fury going to come through, find Sick. Now the 1-2 punch is down, as is the second. Tens will fall, and Zombs is only able to trade back one, but the spike has since been planted. Neural Theft going to give out some information. Gravity Well going to keep Shazam at bay. Now they need to try and get the spike defuse. 3 members still trying to fight for it. Nova Pulse to try and find the stun. Dapper picks up one, shoots the legs of another, but Mitch only chipped away, and it's all up to Shazam. Needs to go clutch here, finds the first. Make it another, and he does just that. It's a 3K and map point for Sentinel.
And Shazam, I mean, we haven't talked about this man enough, but do this man justice. He's the IGL. He's the one having to pivot his role massively to accommodate Tens and make sure they get the most out of this roster. He has had so much weight on his shoulders, so much pressure to keep Sentinels going forward, and now he comes up with a huge clutch. You thought Mitch had that. He was making such a good press into middle. He was getting the frags that he needed. It looked like perhaps they were going to break through, but Sentinels right at the home stretch, right before the finishing tape, they're able to come back and get to map point first. Now, the way Cloud9 Blue's been playing, I would not be shocked to see overtime, but Sentinels seem on one right now. They have recovered a couple of rounds here to take this lead right back.
Hunter's Fury, Cosmic Divide available for Sentinels. It's only going to be that Neural Theft for Mitch. There's that Cosmic Divide to split that C site, and it's looking to be...
Oh, it comes out to the fast flank again, man. It does, especially because Hunter's Fury is in play for Shazam at the back of Long C. So they need to make sure that this flank does not ruin them. They need to keep Shazam alive.
I think the drone spotted all 3, and Leaf tries to continue with that flank. It's sniffed out, taken down. Now all 5 playing out.
Oh, this Hunter's Fury is going to
towards
ruin
this long
them.
C area. And yeah, Hunter's Fury is still available. No shock darts available, but that spike not planted in a very good spot. Fortunately, I believe Cloud9 do have some smoke options. Here come the Hunter's Fury going on down. Shazam trying to kick him off the spike. A huge flank from Tenzo coming on through Garage, dashes onto the side. He's finding 3 kills, only needs to find 1 more. It's the 4th, and it's Tenz again to close out the game.
He starts it, and he finishes it. In the first round and in the last round. Unbelievable kind of storyline just for Tenz individually, but there's so much that went into that. And, I mean, I feel like our analyst is going to have quite a lot of material to work from, Tanner, to kind of break that all down. What a wild ride to kick off such an important series in Valorant history, and to just kind of see the dominance and then the struggle, but then the bounce back. That's just Sentinels in a nutshell, man. They're just so capable, even when you feel like they're down and out. But again, we have to give credit where credit's due. Cloud9 Blue have been so impressive throughout Challengers 2 and this bracket. They've been through so many roster changes. Mitch is the only person still standing from the year 2020. They have been through 4 other roster changes from January forward. Floppy's only been there for 2 weeks. I think Poise has only been there for like 3 months. And prior to that, he had really no professional esports experience. He was just kind of like, what was he, like Doink Machine on like the NA rankings? He was always like number 1. And then he just gets picked up to be like this star fill-in for Tenz, which is big shoes to fill. And they helped this team really push forward to this point. But again, when you come for the king, you best not miss. And unfortunately, they just happened to there in those last couple of rounds.